Mhm. The telephone is the telephone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thursday night. For those who are for the first time, my name is Rona Sweitz, and I have been connected with the Brahma Kumaris for 25 plus years, meditating and sharing the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris. And in this center, I've been here since the past 6-7 years, something like that. But the center exists since 1996, teaching meditation and giving workshops, classes, lectures on self-awareness, self-empowerment. And every Thursday we have these sessions, every Thursday except Thanksgiving. But the rest of the year, every Thursday, we are here. And actually, in a week or so, not this Monday, but the next Monday, we are starting a 7 days meditation course. So, for those who are interested, want to find out more, you're most welcome. But tonight's talk is on making your mind your healer. It also implies that our mind can do the opposite. So the mind can heal us, but the mind can also make us sick. You all agree with that? Actually, there are understandings that all forms of illnesses start in the mind. And this is very useful to understand. So if they start in the mind, then is the solution is also in the mind. And if that is true, then what are our doctors and our nurses and our medical personnel doing? Are they addressing the root cause? Not really. So what are they doing? Because they're busy doing many things. What are they doing? Just fixing the symptoms, managing the discomfort, managing the symptoms. And there are theories where it is understood that, in those theories, it is suggested that we're not even addressing the real problem, but that we are just reshuffling things. So we're suppressing one symptom, but something else comes up. We're managing some disease or suppressing certain things or making it go away, but something else comes up. We're just reshuffling the problem. And this is a pattern that we see. This is a pattern that I have observed in my own work as a clinician for a long period of time. I was puzzled. You know, when you get a child and they have certain allergies, and then they have asthma, and at some stage it gets kind of managed. There are no outbursts anymore, but then they get some allergies or some what is it, digestive problems. And I used to, once they are patient, they stay patient, even though the disease may shift. But as if there's at a deeper level, there is something wrong and it just manifests in different forms. And we just manage one thing, but then something else comes. And all our best brains in this world, much money, much time and energy goes into managing these outbursts and these different expressions. But the deeper problem is not addressed, or it appears it is not addressed, or at least overlooked. So, what is that? And how can we work at a deeper level also? Because, of course, if there is some infection, you have to manage that infection. You don't say, oh no, let me go fix my mind. You know? That is good, but you also need to address what is going on at the immediate level and an urgent level. No? So, how do we go about it, and what is this dynamics? So tonight we want to dive a little bit in this link in health and in healthcare that is misunderstood or overlooked or missing. Now, this mind-body connection, it is very easy to understand that there is a connection. So, for example, if there is a big dog here with fierce teeth and he start growling and barking at you, looking very angry at you, what will happen within you? Hmm? You will
Fear.
be fearful.
Fear.
You will be fearful. And what will happen to your body? You will get tense. Your heartbeat will go faster. Your pressure will go up. Your hair follicles will. So there is fear because of what you perceive and your thoughts of what this dog might do or want to do. So there is fear. And that fear also creates a physical reaction, a physical response. So it is very easy to understand that between my emotions, between my thoughts, between my perception of things, there is also a physical reaction. We know that. We might not necessarily reflect deeply on that, but we know this is there. Or when there is a soothing environment of gentle music and some candlelight maybe, or some moonlight scenery, and we feel comfortable inside, we feel content, we feel relaxed, we feel safe, body also relaxes. Now, at a bit more biological understanding level, we understand also that there are hormones that are secreted. There are certain hormones that are secreted when you are happy, when you are at ease, when you are content. And there are other hormones secreted when you are stressed, when you are fearful, when you are emotional. And different hormones have different effects on the body. Now, what would be an optimal environment for the body and the different organs of the body and the different tissues of the body? What would be the best environment? No stress, happy, peaceful. They don't have it anymore, I think, maybe in some hospitals, but some 30, 40 years ago, maybe even longer, 50 years ago, around in the area of hospitals, there used to be what is these things called? Billboards. Uh, be quiet. You're not allowed to honk. You're not allowed to make noise around. And on the wards itself, there used to be an image, a picture of a nurse saying, "Shh, be quiet." Because somehow there was, at that time, there was the understanding that silence, absence of noise, and was conducive to healing. Patients shouldn't be disturbed. Nowadays, oh gosh, have you seen the in a hospital is the worst place to sleep. All these beep, 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 and light going on, and tubes in and out, and all. The ER is so busy and so noisy. But there was the understanding, and maybe there still is, just they don't know how to manage that an environment that is silent and quiet and low noise, at least, is conducive to healing. Hmm? But if you are in an environment, in an external environment that is quiet and silent and peaceful, but your mind goes like this, will that help? Then it doesn't matter, no? Whether it is outside peaceful, but your mind is mad, going upside down. Then there will still not be a conducive environment. So let's go to the board, try and understand some of the things a bit more. So what kind of a mind would be a healing mind? And what kind of a mind would be what is the opposite? A mind that creates ill health. A peaceful mind. So how can the mind be peaceful? Peaceful, positive mind, present, loving, slow, slow, a slow mind. Anyone here has a mind like that all the time? No. So why not? Anyone in New York City has a mind like that? So why not? Too many worries? Why not? We understand that that is a mind that is healing, a healing mind that will affect our body in a positive way. So why we don't have a mind like that? Outside distractions. But who is in charge of your mind? The outside? Hurricane Milton? This is one of the big riddles of humanity, no? A mind that experiences sorrow. What is the cause of sorrow? What is the cause of distress? And what is the cause of happiness? What promotes happiness? This is the big riddles humanity is juggling with. And even health. how many ages humanity has been looking for panacea. How do I say it in English? Panacea? Panacea? Panacea, universal remedy.
Panacea. Panacea. Okay, that's correct.
Panacea?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have these two extremes. No? If this is the image of the mind, and if that mind is filled with worries and filled with distress, filled with confusion, it looks something like this. Someone was saying the other side, noodles. Mind filled with noodles. Yeah, it looks like that little bit. Now, what kind of effect will a mind like this have on the body? There will be stress, there will be tension, at least your shoulders will be tense.
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion. Yeah, exhaustion. Now, the inner environment of the body, now, the cells, the blood, the levels of oxygen in the blood, all of that will be affected by a mind that is like this. So it will not be the optimum inner environment for the different cells, the different organs to thrive. It will be like in a fight or a flight mode setting. This is not a mind that is happy. So there won't be dopamine, there won't be serotonin excreted in the body. And that will create a situation in which the body is vulnerable. The immune system will be weakened, and all kinds of things can happen in a body like that are not pleasant. And then we treat the body, and we get more noodles, isn't it? Because now there are some situations in the body, so now all the appointments and the doctor's appointments and the therapies and the medication and money and insurance, no more noodles. Maybe hospitalization, and then you can't sleep in the hospital, so you add some more sleep medication and all kinds of things. More noodles. It becomes like a vicious cycle. It becomes worse and worse and worse. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the idea. Now, what do we need to do to get a mind that is free from noodles? Where there is just a thought, and you act on that thought, and then there is another thought, and you act on that thought. There is another thought, creates pleasant feelings and a positive attitude in the mind, and you act on that thought. Mind like that. What is required to have a mind like that? You have to delete these noodles. So how do you delete the noodles?
Through meditation.
Sorry?
Through meditation.
Through meditation. Any other thoughts?
Clarity.
Clarity.
I think willingness to meditate, first of all, and find the time, because meditate is a word that we all want to do, but sometimes we give priority to the routine, So find the discipline also. And
meditate, having discipline, creating time. Okay.
contemplation prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Going to say that isn't it partially the nature of the mind to sort of, go and have many thoughts, and so the task is more of discerning which thoughts to give attention to or not attaching to certain thoughts rather than actually getting rid of the thoughts. Can you do that? Can you like have less, I don't know.
Very good question. How does the mind function and what is the aim of the mind? No? Mind is actually neutral. This is our mind. Mind is like a stage or a screen on which thoughts come. And the thoughts come from our impressions of the past. If this is the subconscious. And in the subconscious, there are certain memories, certain impressions from the things that happened in the past, things that you have experienced in the past. And they push thoughts on the screen of your mind. So, for example, I don't know, today dogs are coming to mind, but say in the past you were bitten by a dog. This is in your, and was not so nice, pleasant, painful, and some infection and whatever. So that impression is in your consciousness. So anytime you see a dog, what will happen? Yeah. You avoid dogs. So this impression, anytime your eyes see a dog, so there's the body, eyes, ears, nose. I see a dog. I can't draw a dog, sorry. That is not beyond my abilities. So the eyes see a dog and the memory gets triggered. And dog, thought of dog. I don't like dogs. So watch out. May bite. Danger comes in the mind. Hmm? Yeah, a thought and every thought carries with it its feelings also. Certain feelings come with it. Dog, danger, and you feel certain tenseness or scared, or this is what is happening in the mind. Hmm? Now, you may also have pleasant memories. Someone may have very pleasant memories of dogs. You used to play with dogs when you were little or whatever. So, these impressions push thoughts in our mind, whether they are triggered by what we see or hear or not. If they are not triggered, if these impressions are strong, they will push thoughts in our mind from the past. Now, you may be sitting at home and for a minute you are alone, thoughts of boss may come in your mind, your boss, or all the work you still need to do. It comes from impressions from the past that are there. It can also come from any sense experience. You hear something, you taste something, you smell something, the ambulance. Thoughts are created by what we experience. In the present moment, thoughts are pushed in the mind. And every thought that if this is a thought that we create, every thought is like the leader of a whole team. Now, every thought carries with it feelings, carries with it certain emotions, carries with it certain vibrations, carries with it a certain attitude also. Now, there is another function within us that needs to regulate this, that could regulate this if it works, if it works well. And we call that function the intellect. And the intellect is your wisdom. The intellect is your common sense. The intellect is your model to life, and the model that you use to think things through, to analyze, to discern, to decide, to what is it? To put into context. This is your wisdom, and this function within us is supposed to regulate this. Because otherwise, all kinds of thoughts will all the time be pushed on the mind. Noodles will be there. If the intellect is either confused or weak or numb because of whatever, some too much alcohol or something. There can be many reasons why the intellect is weak. Overload of information, it numbs the intellect. Exhaustion, what is it? Sleep deprivation makes the intellect cloudy. And also, it can be that for a long period of time, we have not nurtured ourselves with reflections, with quiet thinking things through, being in touch with your values, understanding your perspective on life. And meditation falls in this area. Meditation means you're giving time to your intellect to recover from this impression and information overload. And coming back to your basic understandings. Who am I truly? What is life all about? What are my values? What is a bigger perspective on life? Who am I as a spiritual being? You as if empower the intellect. And an empowered intellect can guide the mind. Noodles not required. Noodles start to form, the intellect says, stop. One thought at a time. These thoughts are useless. These thoughts are waste. These thoughts are negative. These thoughts are useful. These thoughts are positive. These thoughts are uplifting. That is the task of the intellect. But what happens in the mind has tremendous power. Because whatever the thought that is there, or the thought patterns, that creates your feelings and your emotions and your attitude and your intention and forms the basis for your words and your behavior. And it influences the hormonal system of the body also. And it creates either a healthy environment or an unhealthy environment for the body, and inner environment also of the body, a biological, hormonal environment. But the way to steer this mind is through the intellect. So your wisdom, your clarity, your willpower. Partly in the intellect and partly in the mind. But intuition can also be wrong. Or unhealthy. So now, based upon the knowledge we have, we can have a certain mindset that is of a victim. sorry. Victim. We can have a mindset based upon a perspective on life that I can be deprived. I am nothing and no one, and I have to get. And things and people can block me from getting. A victim mindset. And then the thoughts and the feelings in the mind will be accordingly. Every situation I will perceive as if it is against me. They are against me. I always feel that no one means well. You are, what do you call this? Suspicious. Somebody says, hello. What do they want from me? What do they need from me? That kind of mindset. You can also have the mindset of a, what is the opposite of victim? Victory. Victory mindset. A victory mindset or victory mindset or what is it? A mass mindset. One who is master of the self, master of your destiny. You can have a mindset of what is it? Victim, what is the other? Dependent. Think you need. You cannot do without something, someone, some situation. Dependency. So internally there is always a feeling something is lacking. That is an inauspicious mind. It's a mind that is constantly having expectations, constantly having desires, constantly having needs, and constantly having anxiety that those needs might not be met. And even if they are met, you will be anxious because maybe tomorrow it will be taken away. So this kind of a mind is always in a noodle state. In a noodle state. Now that kind of mind, what kind of impact will it have on the body? So much stress, and you won't be able to sleep properly. Difficulty to fall asleep, and when you fall asleep, you don't sleep deeply. And then you sleep 12 hours and you still feel as if you haven't slept properly. Very unhealthy situation. And what do we do then? We can't sleep. Hmm? Hmm? Then you go on your phone or you take sleep medication. Relaxation things. It becomes like a whole system of, and then we don't know how to get out of it because we just want to get away from these noodles, or at least let them be quiet. And they don't become quiet, truly. So this victory mindset, this master mindset, what is the perspective to hold? What should the intellect do to have this kind of a mind? The basic experience in this kind of a mindset is we feel insecure. Somehow, at some level, we feel insecure. That is why we need, we want, we expect, we demand. And a healthy mind somehow has a model to life in which he can be secure and relaxed, even under provocation. Even the barking dog. You don't go stand, let the dog bite, but there's no fear inside. You handle the situation with calm and clarity. And so you don't avoid situation. We don't go sit in the mountain in a cave, isolated from the whole world. You deal with the barking dogs and the sharks and whatever, but from a place of peace and clarity and calm. That is the victory mindset. Now, how can we be secure, even though dog is barking and somebody saying all kind of nasty things and stress all around and bosses nagging? How can we be safe and secure? This is where meditation comes in, and the spiritual practice and spiritual understanding. Because normally we think of ourselves, no, this is conscious or subconscious. We have the model to ourselves and to life that we are born at a certain moment in time and we are nothing and no one. We begin our life and I become someone because of what I get. I receive a body, I receive a family is there is shelter, receive food, I receive an education, I get a job, I get money, I get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I make family, I get children, a car, a house. I define myself and I base my sense of value and my sense of safety and security based on what I can get. And some of these things are they fall away, and that we call life events, and then we have to mourn a little bit, and then we get over it, and you fill it with some other things you can get. And then we dread this moment. Because this moment is the end of the body, the end of this lifetime. And then we feel that we are nothing and no one again. So even if here everything goes right, and you get everything, still there will be insecurity and fear for this moment. So the mind will not be completely secure. There will always be some anxiety underriding everything, because I can lose it all anytime. Because our sense of self, our sense of value, our sense of what makes us safe and peaceful, it can finish anytime. Understand? This is the model, consciously or subconsciously, in which the whole world lives at this moment in time. And so there are always noodles. Some a bit more, some a bit less, but noodles. Anyway, this is why you see people who have everything, still they can't sleep. Or still they have anxiety. Still they have some stress. Or even they have everything, still they want more. Because they can lose so much. That will give big anxiety. No, someone who has $100 and loses 10% of what he has, he will not be happy, but it's okay. But someone who has $1,000,000 and he will lose 10%, which one will sleep less? Even though the one who loses 10% still has 900,000, much more than the one with $100, but he will sleep less, no? Because so much we have, we need to have more, we lose so much. No? So our sense of, what is it, insecurity and sadness and sorrow is proportionate to what we think we lose, or what we have lost, or what we think we might lose or can lose. And so this sense of loss, possible loss of anything, this is part of an unhealthy mind. Now, the model of an intellect that holds the mind in a healthy space, and even a powerful space, so that that mind can affect things in a positive way, is you are, what is the word? You are a divine being. You are a spiritual being. You are a God-like being, innately. You are a being of peace, power. You are an immortal being, a soul. Now, and this being associates with a body in the womb of a mother. Soul comes in the fetus. But soul is complete and whole. A being of peace, a being of love, a being of bliss, a being of power, free, belonging to God and is God-like. And this being is on a journey temporarily. And this journey brings the soul in contact with this body. So this moment of in the body birth, and it is a journey. It is a game. It is a play. It is extra. Body itself is extra. Whatever comes is extra. Is there or not there, I remain who I eternally am. A spiritual, divine, living light. Pure, powerful, child of God. And so life becomes like an extra game, extra play, extraordinaire, yeah, extra. You don't feel you can lose anything. Everything, this is a nice word also. It is a gift, an extra gift, an extra experience. But when the experience ends, you are still there. You have lost nothing, you have gained the experience. If this is our model to life and life situations, this mind will be very different. This mind will feel secure. This mind will feel safe. This mind will feel like a guest in this body, guest on this planet. Every interaction is an extra gift. So there will be appreciation, there will be wonder, there will be a playing mindset, there will be a feeling of curiosity of how things evolve. This mind affects the body positively. This mind will be playful in life situations. This mind will heal. And this mind will have a healing effect also on others. You want to say anything? Ask anything? But empower the intellect. No, because this model is in the intellect. The intellect has this perspective on life that I am this living light. All are living lights, my brothers, souls. And they are all living a story. That is their gift. That is their game. But behind is the soul. We are a family of spiritual beings traveling through the physical world. And meditation is about emerging the awareness and the experience of being this, a bodiless living light. Body is your vehicle, but you are not this body. Soul is you. Soul is not male nor female, not black, not white. That is the characteristic of the car, but the driver is invisible. The driver is timeless. That consciousness, if that wisdom is held in the intellect, this world will be very different. But first of all, you will be very different. Your life will be different. Okay. Now is your turn. I have talked enough. You want to say anything? Take the mic.
So is it with the intellect, is it, as you know, with meditation, it's essentially like a practice in a way, a practice of awareness so that maybe like it's managing it differently if you practice? Is that kind of the...
Well, what I was saying, no, in this, in our intellect, there is this awareness. I am a mere mortal, for example. I am nothing and no one, and I become someone by what I get or what I have, what I own physically. And my sense of identity is based on that what is temporary and what I have received. And that is in the intellect. What we call this body consciousness or material consciousness. And in meditation, you shift that paradigm for yourself. And you say, no, I am not this body. I am this spiritual being, a living light. And in meditation, you use the strength of the intellect to allow in your mind only thoughts about the self as a spiritual being. And you do that, say, for 5 minutes. So this barking dog will also want to come in your mind. Or your boss, whatever, pizza, Coca-Cola, all these thoughts will want to come in your mind. But you have chosen for your meditation to fill your mind, you flood your mind only with spiritual thoughts about the self. And you use the power and the will of the intellect to hold that in your mind for 5 minutes. And maybe even you use the image also of light, living light. You fill your mind with light. Now, what happens in those 5 minutes is those feelings will emerge in the mind. The vibrations of your mind will be filled with that sense of peace, with that sense of security, with that sense of light. And it will create another impression in your subconscious. And more you experience it, also, your understanding grows and your sense of this is true. Really, that subtlety of the intellect grows. And so gradually, this awareness shifts to this awareness. More you do it. And quality of meditation, it shifts. And then what over time, you don't only have that when you're in meditation, you hold that awareness and that perspective even during the day. When you meet others, you don't treat them as a bodily being. You don't judge them based on that. You know that is the car. Behind there is a spiritual being, a soul, my brother. And I connect soul to soul. And then whatever the outer form or the social status or the job or whatever, that is part of the story. But the being is my brother. And you feel a deeper connectedness. And attitude will be different. Attitude will be different if I see you as rich or poor or black or white or American, non-American. Or if I see you as a spiritual being, my brother. Inner attitude will be different, feelings will be different. So, does it make sense? So, but the practice of meditation is you allow in your mind for a period of time only spiritual thoughts. Now, what are those spiritual thoughts that you can learn in the course and over time through classes? But that you then hold those thoughts in your mind, that they become a deeper experience and they become your understanding of truth. And they become your way of your model to existence and life. And you come out of that limited box thinking. You know, this one are like this one is like this, these are this, these are this. No. You see the invisible. That mind is a beautiful mind. That mind is a healing mind. So by seeing ourselves as a spiritual beings, we could have pure thoughts or start experiencing having pure thoughts. And just as the bad thoughts bring out the
Worst.
experience,
Mm.
right? The pure thoughts will also bring experiences of peace and happiness. Mhm. That's nice. Mhm. But this is an invitation for you to explore what are spiritual thoughts, how to see life more from spiritual wisdom, how to empower the intellect with this different way of seeing and thinking about self and about others and about life. Because we see ourselves and think of ourselves in a very limited way. Mm.
So what is the difference between the divine self or spirit and the intellect?
Mm.
I'm curious about why it is the intellect that is the discerner and not your who you are, your divine being that is the discerner.
Yeah, well, you are that divine being. You are the soul. And one of the functions of the soul is intellect. One of the abilities, the functions is the mind. Another function is the subconscious, the memory, the impressions we carry. But it is all part of the soul. But if the intellect has limited knowledge, then we don't experience our higher nature because we then identify with this and make ourselves limited, even though we are this and innately pure, innately divine, innately powerful. It's like a simplistic way of thinking about it. There is a prince. He has everything. He has the kingdom, palace. He will be future king, everything. But he forgets that he is prince. And he thinks he doesn't have a home. He's homeless and he has to look for money in the garbage can and begging. He's forgotten. Something like that has happened with us. We are these divine beings. We have a mind and an intellect, but this has become limited. It functions limitedly. We don't have that bigger perspective and that truth about ourselves anymore. We have forgotten. Go ahead.
If I can elaborate a little bit, like because of this amazing question, it's kind of we can think about this divine that exists, and then we can also realize that exists the divine, or exists, the bad thoughts, or exist this or that. So this observer part is what we should be connecting, right? So separating different things. So that would be pretty much intellect and the divine, but in the part that we be more aware and observing things. Yeah, that's a nice way to kind of connect.
Yeah. The observer.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm not. This isn't said and done, but yeah.
So we need to pay attention to this and play with this and practice this. So this is an invitation to every day play with this and practice with this. Okay, we have to stop. Time has passed. But like I said, on the 21st, we will have a 7 days course. Those who are interested in taking these things a bit deeper and more practice, and you're most welcome for that. Okay, let's close with so at this moment in time, right here, right now, we are aware of the body, aware of the position of the body, aware of the heartbeat and the rhythm of breathing. But we're also aware that we are the invisible experiencers, experiencing this body and the bodily sensations. We are that inner being, higher being, the soul. And the image we can use is of tiny star, living light, operating from behind the eyes, the center of the forehead. Pure, peaceful, serene, living light. And just fill your mind with the image of light. The real self is timeless. Imperishable, playful, being of light. And as we go through the rest of the evening, let us hold this awareness of the self as a soul, a guest in this body, an observer, invisible observer. Thank you.
Thank you.